Hey everyone, once again, just gonna make a video here on a bunch of stuff I got yesterday, more computers and whatnot. And I'm also going to make a mention towards a giveaway that I've been hoping to do for the past 4 weeks. I'm finally going to get around to. So, first off, I'm gonna make a mention towards all the stuff I got yesterday. Firstly, I got a Dell Dimension 8250. Now, it ends up that the 8250 is pretty similar to the Dell Dimension 8200. I thought it was a lot better, but it's really not. Though it uses RD RAM rather than DDR RAM. But some 8200s do, in fact, use RD RAM. I think, if they're manufactured after, I think, is it April or June 2002, they use DDR RAM. But whatever. So this thing has a 2.4 GHz Pentium 4. It didn't have any RAM in it. I'll explain why in a second. It had a GeForce 4 MX420 64 meg video card, SP0200 Creative SB Live 5.1 channel sound card, and this weird 1394 card with this other port. I know that with all my computer knowledge I should know what the port is, but I honestly don't, because I've never really used it. Because, you know, I mean, I only know as much as I need to know, and I don't need to know that. But it also had a couple drives in it, though I think replaced both of them because one of them was loud. They're both really loud, and they didn't really sound too safe for CDs to be used in. But anyway, I'll explain why it didn't have any RAM in it. Although I'm sure whoever dropped it off at the recycling place dropped it off with RAM in it. But when I was at the recycling center taking these things, there were some other kids there, and they were taking stuff. And they said, as I was walking in, they were like, "Oh, we already took everything good. You know, there's nothing in there." I just said, no, I'll take a look anyway. So I found these, I found the 4 desktops I was going to take. No, 4 desktops I was going to take. And so we already took all the good stuff out of there. We already took the RAM out of it. And of the 4 computers I got, actually, one of them was an old Dell. It's right over there, and I scrapped. So technically, of the 3 good ones I got, this was the only one they had actually taken RAM out of. And it was 2 128 megabyte chips of RD RAM 400 megahertz, and they had taken it out and they had tossed it on the ground. And I asked them, "Why is this on the ground?" And they said, "Oh, that's crappy RAM. It's only 120 meg chips." And one of them said, "Yeah, it's DIMM." And clearly, the kids didn't really have so much technical knowledge. And I said, "Well, it's RD RAM 400 megahertz. Good stuff." But you know, it's kind of an odd thought to know that people are taking business away from you sometimes. And, you know, you wonder what they're going to do with it. They're probably just going to toss it in a closet and never use it again. Actually, it was more so of a good thing they didn't know, or at least they didn't seem to know what was good and what wasn't, because it leaves more for me. If they truly knew the value and all this stuff, then they would have taken it instead of me. Although I think they rode there on bikes, so they weren't going to take desktops back. Although they might have been planning to take this stuff, because maybe someone's coming to pick them up. I don't know. I'm talking about this for too long and too in depth. But the point is, other people were there who might have been taking stuff, who could have taken stuff from me, but I don't think they were knowledgeable enough to know that this stuff is really worth anything. I don't know why I mentioned that for so long, but yeah. It did not have a hard drive in it, I don't think, because I'm just confusing myself. So I put this 80 gig hard drive in here. I would put like a 40 gig in it, but I don't have any 40 gigs, I only have 80 gigs. And it also, actually, they had also taken out two 60 gigabyte hard drives out of probably this computer, and I think also out of a Dell Dimension 4600 I'll talk about in a second that I also got. And they had put them, like, to the side. They weren't even taking them. There were 2 perfectly good 60 gigabyte hard drives, so I was going to take them, but I forgot to grab them on my way out, so those are still there. I might be able to get them next week, but I forgot them, so I've been kind of, you know, unhappy with myself for forgetting all that. I also forgot those 2 RAM chips I talked about. Wow. But anyway, now this video is 4.5 minutes long, and I haven't really talked about much of anything, but this thing had a weird problem with it. I installed Windows on it, and it worked fine. I installed the drivers for it, although this card here that I mentioned, it still doesn't have the drivers for it, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it out. I don't feel like searching around for the model number and getting drivers for it. I really don't even think anyone really wants that, so I'm going to pop it out once this computer's installing updates. But it needed the Ethernet sound. I ended up that with these sound cards. There's a patch you need to download for the driver. It's on the Dell website. So if you download just like the baseline driver for these things, the sound doesn't work. So I had to download a patch for that. I figured that out the hard way, but we're working on the 4600 I got before this. That I actually worked on before this. The Ethernet driver was not recognized. So, well, Ethernet controller was not recognized, or the Ethernet adapter, or the Ethernet onboard Ethernet. What the hell am I saying? Was not recognized. So I went ahead and downloaded the drivers off the Dell website. Another computer popped them on this handy USB driver here, and installed them, but it still didn't work. So I thought it might have been a hardware issue. So I tried 2 different PCI Ethernet cards. Neither of them seemed to work properly. One of them that is the same type that I use all the time for other computers, that's plug and play and works fine, refused to work with this thing. And another one that I didn't expect to be plug and play actually ended up working, but it didn't work. The drivers were installed, but it wouldn't find the connection properly. So I thought there was a hardware issue. I ended up swapping out the RAM. I tried a different power supply. I tried different everything. I even tried a different video card and unplugged all the unnecessary stuff and just could not get it working. And it ends up that Windows was simply looking in the wrong spot for the drivers. So I went on a forum. That's like I went to a post from like 5 years ago on a forum. Post someone who needed drivers for the onboard, and he said the Dell drivers didn't work, so they had the same problem as I did. And it ends up that what you need to do is I needed to go to Device Manager. I needed to install the drivers from a specific location, and I searched through. No, I had to search through tons of like different drivers that Windows already hasn't loaded onto the hard drive. I ended up finding the right one, so that's good. So I guess Windows isn't as smart as it could be with finding the proper drivers on its own installation. So I kind of had to point Windows to its own driver files. So it took about an hour for me to figure out. Okay, I've been talking for way too long. But anyway, I'm installing updates on this thing. It's working fine now. I'm almost out of battery power because this stupid freaking camera, all it does is run out of battery power. But I'll just go as far as I can without it shutting off. I also got the Dell Dimension 4600 over here. I'm going to make a quick mention too. Installation of this thing was pretty quick and painless, thankfully. There's a 2.8 GHz Pentium 4 with a 1 MB L2 cache, 512 megs DR333. What annoys me about Dells is that a lot of them can't use 400 MHz RAM, which kind of annoys me because I have tons of 400 MHz RAM. I'm running out of 333. And stuff only takes 333, so I don't want to waste 400 MHz on it, so I keep using the 333 stuff. I'm almost out. It has an 80 GB hard drive. This one had the 80 GB hard drive in it. I got it with it. It's got a DVD reliable drive, XP Home, Service Pack 3, fully updated. I installed Microsoft Security Essentials on it. It has an ATI Radeon 9200 Pro, 28 MB AGP video card I put in it, and the same sound card as the other computer that I'm installing updates on now. So that's pretty standard, I guess. Nothing really much to mention with that. I did have some minor problems, but I got past them. It's not really worth it explaining it in the video. It would just take too much time and be too boring. Now I'm going to make a mention towards this Dell. It was a Dell Dimension XPS D300. I think it's from like late 1998. It had a Pentium 2 with MMX technology in it, so I'll keep that because I'm keeping any CPUs that have MMX technology in them. So apparently they might be worth money someday. I don't know. They have like some Intel had a design flaw put into those things, and I don't know. They're collector's items, I guess. I don't even know. Scrapped all the drives in it and stuff. But the weird thing is, though, I was expecting this thing to have like a 10 GB hard drive in it, but I found an 80 GB 7200 RPM hard drive. No, what I'm saying is wrong. I did actually find a crappy hard drive in it from like 1998. I did scrap it, okay? Got that completely backwards, so just forget about what I said about the hard drive in that thing. But this is a Dell Dimension 4300. This thing is actually older than I thought. it takes sync RAM. Has a 1.8 GHz Pentium 4, which isn't too bad. I think it has a 32 megabyte video card. Doesn't even have a heatsink on it. Only has VGA output and what is it? S video? I don't know. Had one drive in it. I put another drive in. I put a white CD reliable drive to go in with the white CD-ROM drive. Now I'm thinking about that. I should probably take out the CD-ROM drive and just keep that CD reliable. But this thing had an 80 gigabyte 7200 RPM hard drive in it. I was very surprised. Of course, I took it out. I'm going to wipe it, but right now I put a 20 gigabyte hard drive in it because this is really what the thing deserves. And it had a 128 meg chip of Sync 133. It replaced that with two 512 chips of Sync 133. So now it has a gigabyte of RAM. Because I scrap almost all the Sync RAM I get, but I had some 512 megabyte chips lying around, so I just use that. This camera's going to shut off any second now, but I haven't tested this thing out yet. I'm guessing it works, because usually older stuff I get works. Usually, yes, I said that right. Sound card looks pretty old. It's not a Creative SB Live or anything. It also has an Ethernet card, because these Dell Dimension 4300s, along with 4400s, and I think 4500s even, don't have onboard Ethernet or onboard audio. Looks kind of old though, but you know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll just go ahead and scrap it and put a plug-and-play card in it. Although I'm running low on little water things for these drives, like this one right here. I'm running low on them. Actually, I don't have any left. Okay, so I didn't run out of battery power. I actually ran out of SD card space, but anyway, as I was saying, I might take a black, differently shaped, what am I saying? I forgot all my words when I'm talking. A different drive border for the front from a Dell Optiplex. It's black and it has a bit different of a shape to it, but it still fits, so I might put it there because this thing's only 4300. You know, it's really not that important. It's not that good. And it does have a Windows Millennium Edition COA, but I think I think Windows Millennium Edition is the same thing as Windows 2000. I'm not sure. I should probably look that up, but I'm gonna put it Windows XP, probably Professional, because I have like 15 spare. Actually, no, I think it's 13 spare codes for Windows XP. Now to talk about this ThinkPad R40. In my last video, I mentioned how I got this thing working, and I bought a power supply for it online that arrived. I loaded up Windows on this thing. I put a 60 gig hard drive in it that I wiped. Only problem is it doesn't have the hard drive bay cover. And I'm thinking if I can find one for less than $4 or $5, I'll probably buy one before I sell this thing. But you know, if there either aren't any listings on eBay or if they're too expensive, I'll just forget it and sell it as it is, because it's not really a big issue. It's got a 1.6 gigahertz Celeron, a gigabyte of RAM, though the BIOS is not very well designed, so it doesn't tell me the speed, so I might pop the RAM cover off and see what speed it is by looking at the hardware. 60 gig hard drive, as I said. It has a DVD-ROM, CD-ROM drive in it. Windows XP Pro Service Pack 3, I fully updated that and put Microsoft Security Essentials on it, so it's pretty much all ready to sell. So I'm probably going to go ahead and pop that up on eBay sooner or later. Although I might use this thing to wipe some more hard drives, because I do have some hard drives in need of wiping. And this is the only laptop I have right now that actually works. I have a power supply for it that I can reliably wipe hard drives with. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything I have to mention on the computers I've got and what I'm doing. I have a 2.8 GHz Pentium 4 to put in this thing. And I looked at my RD RAM. I have plenty of stuff left, so I'm going to upgrade this thing from 512 megabytes of RD RAM to 1 gigabyte, because I have plenty of these chips. They're all 256 megabyte, at least the 4 ones I'm going to put in, of course. I would put 768 megabytes in this thing, but of course I've got these 2 stupid chips from the recycling center the other day. And this is the bay cover that I was talking about that I might put on that 4300. Now, I was trying to use this video card in the 4600 because the 4600 wasn't really working right with the video a little bit, but I think I got it working. But there are some slightly partially blown capacitors here. They're very slightly burst, I think. and I don't think this card's reliable anymore, so I might end up scrapping it. I don't really think it's worth it to try to repair it, because I think it's only 128 megabyte. It might be 64, but yeah. This drive actually came in the Dell Dimension 4600. It's from January 2007, I think. If I remember that right, yeah, January 07. So it's about almost 6 years old, but it's jammed, so I might end up taking it apart, repairing it. But I put pretty much the same exact drive from like 2005 in it. I still have to test out a bunch of power supplies, including all of those ones down there. So I'm gonna buy a power supply tester. I've been procrastinating on that. I'm tripping over my own words a lot today. I apologize, because I need to speak so fast. I got this Dell monitor. Looks like it's about 19-inch, maybe 17, no, maybe 19. I don't know. Haven't tested it out yet. Maybe I should really. I think I should really test stuff out and do a little bit more processing before I make videos on stuff. But I think that'll make it more boring, because I like to make videos and stuff as I'm working on it. You know, I like how I mentioned the Dell Dimension 8250. I'm working on it right now, so I think it makes it a bit more interesting to talk about it while it's right there. That's pretty much it, though. I also got a keyboard, PS2, nothing much. I got that monitor a week ago. I still haven't tested it out. I doubt it works. So yeah. Now I'm going to make a mention towards a giveaway I've been planning. I'm going to make a bit of a proposal here for these parts that I'm planning on giving away. This is probably not the finalized items they're going to be given away. There's a bigger one I'll show you in a second. But because, you know, I think it could use some changes. So if any of you have any recommendations of what I should give away instead of any of these items, please let me know. But it has to be like of the same general value. Like, you know, don't say, oh, replace the Ethernet card with an iMac, you know, but whatever. First off is a PCI video card. This one is, what is it? It is a 256 meg, I think. Nope, it's 128 megabyte. Video card, I think, what is it? It might be a Radeon 9250 here. Yeah, I think it's an ATA Radeon 9250, 128 megabyte PCI graphics card with VGA and DVI and TV out. So, you know, nothing too fancy, but, you know, if you need a computer that could use some less than super crappy video performance, with the PCI slot available, you know, that could be good for someone. Next step is a sound card. It's a Creative SB Live. No, it's a Creative. No, it's a Sound Blaster Audiv-G SB1394 EAX Advanced HD sound card. So it's got these ports in the back. It's got the sound ports. Also has a 1394 connection. And there's a model number right there in case you want to look that up. I'm also giving away a plug and play Netgear FA311 V2 Ethernet card. This is the type of Ethernet card I use all the time if I need to plug in an Ethernet card to a computer without using drivers, because that is meant to be plug and play. You plug it in and you start the computer up and it just works, usually. Except for in the case of that stupid 8250. But yeah, it works about 90% of the time as a plug and play. On top of that, I got this Linksys Wireless G 2.4 gigahertz wireless PCI card adapter. There's a model number, so you know if you need wireless connection on a computer, you can use that. And I have a lot of these cards, but I don't have a lot of antennas, so I'm really valuing right now the antenna over the actual card. But oh, I should probably clean the thermal compound after that if I give this away, which I will. But so 3 gigahertz Pentium 4 LGA 775, so you know, not too bad. So that's the smaller items I'm planning giving away. And the bigger item I'm planning giving away. Oh, and by the way, these might not all be separate. Like I might pair this up with this. I might pair these up with each other. And you know, but I'm thinking about having probably 3 or 4 maximum different batches, sort of items. Because I don't want to give away too many different boxes, because I don't have to pay for all the shipping and lose lots of money giving away stuff that I could have sold for money. So I'll be like losing money to losing money. But you know, it's a giveaway. So You know, probably 3 or 4 different batches of items. Maybe the CPU by itself, maybe this with that, maybe those two together, I don't know. But the main prize is going to be this Dell Dimension here. It's nothing super fancy, but it's a Dell Dimension 2400. It's got 2.4 gigahertz Pentium 4, 512 megs DR266. It has a DVD-ROM drive, CD writable drive, Windows XP Home Service Pack 3 with a 40 gig hard drive. You know, it's in decent condition. I'm just thinking, you know, this thing, I might as well give it away to someone who just, you know, wants some basic computer to use for whatever means. You know, it's nothing super powerful. I doubt you can really play games on this. But you know, and before I give this away, if I do give this away, that is, I'll fully update it and everything, and I'll probably install any programs that the person who wins it wants me to install. Although probably not, because I don't know, that doesn't seem logical. But yeah. Okay, sorry about that. I ran out of SD space for a second time. So yeah, just, you know, in general, this could be a, you know, a good little computer to give away. Nothing too special, but something certainly someone could enjoy. The reason giving away Dimension 2400 is because although they're nearly as good as like 4600s and are pretty much the same thing as Dell Dimension 3000s, they really don't sell for anything on eBay. Like, it could be hard for me to squeeze $25 out of this thing on eBay, whereas I can easily get like 40 or 50 or even 60 out of a 4600 or 40 out of a 3000 sometimes. So that's why I'm giving this one away. So yeah, if you guys think I should give anything different away that's roughly of the same value, or if you have any recommendations for this giveaway I'm doing, please let me know. And again, if you're making any recommendations, just keep in mind that I only want to give away three or four different batches of items or single items by themselves, and nothing too big. You know, I really think that this is the computer I'm going to be giving away. I really don't want to give away anything other than this, so that's what I'm going to be giving away. But I'm pretty open for recommendations on these smaller items, because they only cost, you know, a couple bucks, no, maybe $5 to ship each. So that'll be it for this video. Again, as usual, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.